childhood memories, they stay with you for life.
They also give a great impact into forming of your personality.
One of my brightest memories when I was a child is the atmosphere in Mexico. We were living near a very beautiful park, and the colors and the smells there are very vivid to me. And in the evenings, my parents would have la crème de la crème of, of the Mexican intellectual, artistic scene, painters and writers, and I remember dancing for them, and there was always music and many people in the house. And during the day, we would go to rehearsals with my parents and listen to the rehearsals. And that time, I remember I really loved this vibrant atmosphere.
My first childhood memories from a little bit formed myself already of maybe 5 or 6 years old are also always associated with lots of people in the house, all kinds of various musicians, visiting musicians, the colleagues of my parents, the students, lots of instruments everywhere, constant music coming from all little corners of the house. Delicious food on the table. My grandmother was an incredible cook, and I loved also cooking together with her and helping her cook. And then I loved the moments when everyone sits at the big table full of deliciousness and would talk about all kinds of very interesting and exciting things. And there were constantly possibilities also to play for all of the guests, to make little shows and dance, and sometimes to be a little bit naughty and scare them from underneath the table. From the very first moment when we met with Dana, we instantly felt this strong connection. We felt as if we knew each other from basically our birth, and almost felt like sisters.
Yes, and this is how actually the idea to make this CD slowly started flourishing, because we started noticing that there were so many parallelisms in our life, the way we grew up,
and the way our families are.
Fedorov's family are pianists.
Yeah, and the Zemtsov family are mostly viola players. So it's actually quite amazing that also the older generation, we have a lot of coincidences in our lives. We both were born on the same river of Volga, for example, one of the coincidences. And the other one is that we all studied in Moscow conservatory, and we both met our wives, respectively, Tatiana Abayeva and Yulia Dinerstein.
At the same building.
And yes, absolutely. And even we lived in the same student residence. You remember for sure this building on the Malaya Gruzinskaya Street.
Of course, it's a very interesting location in front of Moscow Zoo. And one morning, all student house woke up from absolutely terrible screaming of elephant. You remember?
Yes, it was an elephant giving a birth.
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
It's so special to see that from our friendship we actually recreate these childhood memories. We like to get together and cook together and awake the inspiration and love for life.
Yes, we have these inspirational evenings when we read poetry, talk about some inspirational and philosophical parts of life, as well as having just a lot of fun together. We cook together, we dance together, we play together, of course, and we connect in our common love for life, for inspiration, for living with creativity and fun, and of course a lot of music.
A very special piece in this album for us, which is very personal and kind of intimate, is the melody Maltenstiel, written by my grandfather, Yevgeny Zemtsov. And he was studying in the Moscow conservatory at the time, and he met a beautiful girl, a viola player. And he wrote it as a love dedication to her, and it was quite successful because we were born 1 year later.
When I was a little child, like 5 or 6 years old, I always sat next to my father, who would sit by his desktop and write notes, compose. So, and also I took some sheet of paper and I did as if I would also compose something. Then I studied composition for 13 years, but when I was 20 years old I stopped and I didn't compose anything else for quite a long time. And once I was in Germany, going with the train, I didn't have much to do, and I thought, why shouldn't I try to compose a tango? Because I made many arrangements of Latin American music. I played a lot of tango music as well. And suddenly I had this idea, so I took a sheet of paper and I started composing. And in front of me there was a man with a laptop, and he looked at me a little bit suspiciously. And finally he asked me, "What are you writing there?" So I said, "Nothing much, I'm just trying to compose a tango." So the man suddenly went pale, and he told me, "I'm actually also trying to compose a tango." So that's about the coincidences in the life. This is the way the third tango of my suite, which is recorded on the CD, appeared. And the name of this piece is Al rato verás, which means in a while you will see. We never know what will happen next moment, but in a while we will see.
Another very meaningful piece on our album, which marks an important event in our family, is Chopin Nocturne, performed by my father. Actually, thanks to this nocturne, I was born, because that's when my mother heard him play this nocturne, was the moment when she started to fall in love with him. And then, not 9 months, but 9 years later, I was born.
If you remember very famous movie of Federico Fellini, Amarcord, you remember that the name Amarcord means the sweetest and nostalgic memories about somewhere. And this piece, Childhood Memories, Amarcord, really dedicated to Volga. Volga is very big river, and I was born in Samara city, is on the Volga, and Volga is very beautiful, very wide. This piece consists of 3 parts. All parts is Volga in different time. First part, Volga during last evening and during night. You can listen a lot of sounds of Volga. It's like symphony on concrete music, really. It's like a world of sounds, anchor, splashing of rowing boats, announcement at the harbor, sound of fishermen's their voices, horns of ships, really like symphony of sounds. Second movement, it's early morning. People is waking up, and maybe most important in long yawns. And after immediately at the beginning of third movement, it's afternoon time, and it's really holiday because this day full of interesting meeting, songs, dance, and parties with a lot of drunk people.
We wish you a beautiful winter holiday, and we hope that you can enjoy this special, very personal CD that we made for you in a warm family setting.
And we all are wishing you
Merry Christmas!